What is up, True Hearts? Welcome back to another episode of RMH Adventures. Today's adventure brings us to Burnham, Pennsylvania, and we're going to be looking for the haunted caves of Burnham, Pennsylvania, which was mentioned in the Weird Pennsylvania book. So here's the problem with this, though, is in the Weird Pennsylvania book, it just says in the woods. Haunted cave in the woods, right? So here's the problem, though. Look all around. There is nothing but woods. So I don't really know where I'm going to start. So I pulled over at the local park and we're going to walk around the park and see if maybe it's here. And if not, I'll try to talk to some people and see what we can find. All right. So let's get started on our journey, shall we? Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for your awesome support on the last couple of videos that I put out. It was absolutely ridiculous. I never expected to get 2,000 views in about a month, let alone 2,500 between the two of them. That was so freaking awesome of you guys, and I'm so thankful for everything and for all of your views and for all of your subscriptions, your likes, your comments, all of it. Thank you so much. So that being said, it looks like there is also a campground at this place. So there could be some people that could be valuable to talk to maybe find out where this cave is located. Anyway, so I've never been to Burnham, Pennsylvania before. And I came out here because I really want to try to find some haunted places that nobody else is going to be at. Because it seems that everybody wants to go to Gettysburg right now. Obviously, it's October. It's hard to get into Gettysburg anywhere and do an investigation. So here I am in Burnham, Pennsylvania. Never been here before. Have never seen this place in my life. But it's got a pretty decent park here. So if anything, we'll get to see some cool scenery even if we don't find these caves. So I'm trying to keep a positive spin on it because from what I understand, some of these urban legends in this book are BS. And may not actually exist. So if that's the case with this one, which I don't know yet, we'll find out shortly, then I don't know what to do. At least we'll have seen a neat town that we've never seen before. At least I never have. And maybe you're from there if you're watching. But I've never been here before. So it looks like a really small town. I think it said that there was only a population of about 2,000 people. So that's pretty interesting. It's a really tiny place. So like pretty much like all the houses that you see around me, whenever I'm walking around in the background here, this is pretty much the whole town, I guess, which is kind of neat. Really small place. I like small towns. I'm more of a small town guy than a big city guy. I lived in a big city for a while, actually. I lived in Boston in my late 20s for about, 3-4 months. And I think it was about 5 months, somewhere around there. Anyway, I didn't like it. I thought that people were too pushy and just wasn't my speed, you know. So small towns, more my speed. So I'm kind of liking this place, whether it's got haunted caves or not. So we'll see. As you can see, there's not a lot at this park. Looks like it's mostly just a place to park, actually. Kind of funny. I think they might have the wrong idea of what a park is supposed to be. But that's okay. As far as I can tell, this is pretty much the only thing in town worth like anything worth a note, I guess I should say. I don't know how to talk. I have problems with talking sometimes, so I apologize for that. But, you know, it's okay. I apologize too much, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to apologize. I'm taking it back. Taking it back. Taking back the apology. Dairy Park Mini Golf. This place looks really cool. I'm going to walk around the outside of it here. Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So, looks like they're not open for another few more hours yet. So this is open. People can come down here. Burnham, Pennsylvania. I think it's called Kish Park. Something like that. Kind of stinks out here. Not like Yellow Dog. Yellow Dog was like the stinkiest place I've ever been in my life. But this place is pretty stinky too. As you can see, even in their mini golf, they have like farm stuff. So kind of a farming town, I guess. So there's manure around. It doesn't smell good, as manure tends to not do. Smell good. So I've walked around the entire park now, and I haven't seen a thing as far as haunted caves go. So we're gonna take this trail down here, see if it goes into the woods. And if it doesn't, then I'll start asking around. Maybe then we can find what we're looking for. And my worry is that it's not in the park, and that it's like back behind one of these homes here, and then I'm not going to be able to get to it. That's my main worry. Because I don't want to trespass, I don't do that. I know a lot of urbexers and YouTubers like to trespass. That's not my thing. I have a kid at home. I can't be risking things like that. All the jail time or possible fines or anything. No, not happening. So, me, I stick by the rules, play by the book. We got a little creekside trail here. I originally shot this next segment in the park in Burnham, but I didn't like how it turned out. So I'm back in the basement, and it's story time. Lots of people have asked me, what was your inspiration for starting a YouTube channel about the paranormal and abandoned? And I have a few stories that I'd like to share about my past experiences. These stories are 100% true, as witnessed by my own eyes, and are the reasons I've been searching for the proof of the paranormal ever since. Our first story takes us back to when I was about 13 years old. I came home from a friend's house and opened my bedroom door to see a little girl in the corner. She wasn't facing me, and parts of her kept fading in and out as I stood there, frozen in fear for what seemed like an eternity, but was probably only about 5 seconds. And I'll never forget her long hair, which didn't really seem to have a solid color, and her white dress with yellow flowers on it. I quickly begged my parents to let me stay at a friend's house that night, and when I came back the next day, she was gone, and I personally haven't seen her ever since. One other person has, but we'll get into that story in just a minute. Our second story takes us to the basement in the same house. My friends and I used to go down there to get away from the adults. And there are 2 doors in the basement, the one at the top of the stairs that goes into the house, and one about halfway up that goes outside. At the time, the door to the outside was broken, and it didn't latch, like when you closed it. So it was kept shut with a thick deadbolt. Because of this, it was rarely used. My friend and I were sitting on opposite sides of the basement, and I was using my wood burning kit on one side, and my friend was dipping a knife in candle wax on the other side. I don't know. Don't ask. All of a sudden, we heard that deadbolt slide, and the door flew open with more force than I had ever seen before in my entire life. The weird part was, it wasn't accompanied by a strong wind. Something had entered the basement, and it was angry. We looked at each other, blew out the candle, and ran upstairs fast, closing and locking the door on the way back up the stairs. Once we got our bearings and gathered our wits, we returned to the basement to see whatever had come in here had used the knife on the candle and sliced it right down the side, and the leaking wax formed a pointing hand in the direction of our furnace, which had to be replaced just a few days later. The third story keeps us in the very same basement. At the time, I was about 15 to 16, and I was playing bass in a punk rock band with some friends. We had acquired a 4-track tape recorder to use during practice to record and listen back, to see what segments might need work that we couldn't hear at the time. A fun fact about 4-tracks is that if you flip the tape over and put it in a normal tape player, it plays backwards and in slow motion. We couldn't wait to hear it for some good laughs, and man were we laughing our heads off, until we heard the clearest EVP I had ever heard at the time. A man came over our music and screamed, "Help! Help!" It still gives me chills to think about it, because I have a feeling this was a residual haunt of someone's death. During Prohibition, it was used as a speakeasy down here, and a man lost his life while tending to one of the stoves, supposedly by fire. Over the following years, I had a lot of feelings of being watched, especially in the basement. I never stayed down there by myself for too long, but nothing strange ever really happened, and I never saw any ghosts there again. So fast forward about 7 years, a couple of friends and I headed to a local abandoned hotel to check it out. We had nothing but flip phones and flashlights back then. I'd gone there once before, but something felt, I don't know, just off. Like there was something bad there, and I just stayed in my car outside. But this time, we all went in, and within minutes, I saw a rock pick itself up off the ground and throw itself at the wall. Neither of my friends that were with me saw this, but they heard it, and they pointed it out. What was that? And I told them the story, but they were a little skeptical, understandably. Then, moments later, we came across an old soda machine, unplugged and without power for probably 30 years, tipped over in a stairwell. And when we got close, a can of soda shot out of the machine, nearly hitting the ceiling. And after we freaked out a bit, we inspected the can, which had clearly been empty for quite some time. We inspected the machine, and we couldn't find any logical explanation. And then, in another room, with broken glass on the floor, while we all stood still, we heard footsteps all around us, and then we left shortly after. Finally, another couple of years later, and my parents went out of town for the week. Being a person in my 20s at the time, I called all of my friends over for a party. As the party wound down, and most everyone had headed home, my friend Joe walked in, white as a sheet, and he tells me that he just saw a little girl run across the hallway, and he knows there wasn't one there earlier. He said she had long hair, and she was wearing a white dress with yellow flowers on it. And I'll tell you, even telling this story right now, like, I'm getting goosebumps on my arm. Like, it still gives me goosebumps and gives me chills up my spine, because I vividly remember that same little girl so many years ago. The very same one that I had seen in my very own bedroom. And I had never told Joe or anyone at the party about her, and I rushed to the room where he had said he saw her, eager yet frightened to see her again. And when I got there, she was gone. But she left me proof that she was there. She had taken a toy with her from my nieces and nephews' toy closet across the hall, and it laid there under the coffee table. So those are my personal ghost stories, And to answer the question, why did I start this? Because I want you all to experience things I did. To see that maybe everything isn't only what we see. To open your eyes to the fact that there may be other planes of existence, even after death. Now, if you enjoyed this segment, please leave me a like and a comment. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. And with that, let's head back to Burnham. So anyway, we'll keep on going down here, see what we can find. Well, looks like the walking trail continues, so here we go. I guess I should continue story time. I don't have any more paranormal stories though, so I don't really know what to do. I mean, other than the ones that I caught at Cashtown Inn, which if you haven't watched that video, you should probably check that out because it was pretty awesome. And it also proves that ghosts have a sense of humor, which is something that not a lot of people think about. Ghosts are just regular people, and you know, regular people have a sense of humor, so every now and then you're gonna get a joke. And I don't want to give it away, you gotta watch it. Might be getting closer to it. I don't know. Could be getting further away also. I mean, either one could be happening. Anyway, here's some cool information that I found out during that last interview though. She didn't want to be filmed, so I totally get that. But check this out. So this park that I'm currently at, that we've been walking around for a while, used to be an amusement park. It was called Kishacoquillas Park. Kishacoquillas. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. I have no freaking idea. That's a crazy name. But anyway, so they had an amusement park here. She was saying that this building over there, that one straight ahead, was for the fun house. So we're gonna go look at that. Because I didn't look in the windows before. Maybe there's something interesting over there. And I do know that there was players and stuff. And also, I think there might be a performance coming up here on the stage pretty soon. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna find out if there is. So I was told that this was a full-fledged park, like amusement park. It had a Ferris wheel, and it had a fun house, and it had a stage with performances, and it had pavilions and camping and all kinds of stuff here. So I think she said that it wasn't all that long ago. She said she used to come here as a kid. She was probably, my guess, in her late 60s, if I had to take a guess. Yeah. And the woman said that this was where they had like a little petting zoo area. So that's why it's all like fenced off and everything, like gated, or I don't know, what do you call that stuff? You know what I mean? Anyway, so there's that. And here's a good message that somebody wrote that is actually really, really appropriate for right now. So it says, "Be kind to yourself. I am a beautiful, glorious, unfinished work of art. Say and repeat." That is apparently the original bridge from the amusement park. The original stage. And yeah, let's go check out the performance that we're gonna have over here. I think we got one coming. I think there's somebody in the green room now, getting ready. From what I hear, it's a comedian. Hopefully he's funny. Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Harder.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out tonight. It's great to see you all. So, what's the deal with burning? It's not burning, and I don't smell any ham.
Boo! Get off the stage! Boo!
Yeah, alright, sorry, that was pretty bad.
I'll be honest, I had way too much fun doing that. As soon as I saw the stage, I had to plan it. So, anyway, I like having a good time, you know? It's important to have a good time. Well, what's the point of living through life if you're not having a good time, right? This area used to be the fun house. Now it's not the fun house, it's just like a theater place. I don't know if I can go in here right now, but there's a cool piano in there. Looks like there's stuff. Yeah, it's locked. Can't go in, but I guess there's, I don't know if there's like a theater in here or what. Can't really see inside the building too far. But anyway, so this is the former amusement park, and I guess that's why it's got mini golf. I'm wondering if this is the original mini golf from when this was still a functioning amusement park. That'd be pretty freaking cool, actually. Be one of probably the oldest mini golfs in the area. I'm gonna look this up. Dairy Park Mini Golf.
In the early 1900s, there was a big push to get people to use trolleys on the weekends, so thousands of parks were created along the trolley lines, and this park was one of them. Kishicoquillas Park was opened in 1900 and eventually had the following rides: a small kids roller coaster, a dark ride called Fun in the Dark, bumper cars, swan boats, kiddie boats, a small petting zoo, and a Ferris wheel, as well as picnic areas and camping areas. Now, I couldn't find any information about when the mini golf was added. The earliest dates I could find were in 1998, but it may have been there sooner. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, in 1972, during the floods of Hurricane Agnes, the park met its untimely end. I pulled this picture from the Kish Park Facebook page. Such a sad end to a park that brought joy to so many people. Now, if you have any information about the park or memories of it, leave a comment below. Is the mini golf original to the park, or was it added later? I would love to know. But anyway, back to the park.
Well, everybody, I didn't find any haunted caves, but on the positive side, I did find an abandoned amusement park, so that's kind of wild, right? Who would have thought that I'd find that when I came out here? Burnham, Pennsylvania. It's called Kishicoquilla State Park, I guess. I don't know if maybe not state park. It's like a community park or something like that. But anyway, I probably mispronounced it. I don't care. They call it Kish Park. Apparently none of the locals know how to pronounce it either. So it's fine with me. Kishquaquilla. Yeah.
Well, true hearts, it's time once again to say goodbye. But I promise the next video will be coming sooner rather than later. And if you're from Burnham or have been to the haunted Burnham caves, leave me a comment below and I'll contact you for more information. If they do exist, I would love to come back for an investigation. And for all of you that have watched this video, I want to give a sincere thank you. And I hope you've commented, liked, and subscribed. Until next time, live harder with all of your heart, and have a great day.